Television receiver antenna is usually A. Loop type, B. Yagi antenna, C. Parabolic dishes, D. None of the above. The correct answer is Yagi antenna. In figure, the current distribution is represented by A. Curve A, B. Curve B, C. Curve C, D. Curve D. The correct answer is curve C. Half power point directions for broadside is A. 60, B. 30, C. 45, D. At any angle. The correct answer is 60. What will happen to a bird sitting on a conductor? A. It will die of shock. B. It will not die of shock because its claws are insulated. C. It will not die because it is insulated from earth and other conductors. D. None of the above. The correct answer is it will not die because it is insulated from earth and other conductors. Which one is correct option? A. Phase velocity is greater than light velocity. B. Group velocity is greater than light velocity. C. Phase velocity is equal to group velocity. D. Phase velocity is less than light velocity. The correct answer is phase velocity is greater than light velocity. The term critical frequency denotes A. The lowest frequency that is reflected by the ionosphere. B. The highest frequency that is reflected by the ionosphere at vertical distance. C. The lowest frequency by which communication is possible between two given points. D. None of the above. The correct answer is the highest frequency that is reflected by the ionosphere at vertical distance. The important postulate arising out of Maxwell's modification of Amperes' law is A. A changing magnetic field produces an electric field. B. A changing electric field produces a magnetic field. C. A motional EMF is produced by a coil moving in a magnetic field. D. A steady current produces a magnetic field. The correct answer is a changing electric field produces a magnetic field. Which of the following is not a wideband antenna? A. Marconi, B. discone, C. helical, D. folded dipole. The correct answer is Marconi. The polarization phenomena in Faraday rotation. A. is non-reciprocal. B. exists along perpendicular direction. C. exists along the axis of array. D. does not exist. The correct answer is non-reciprocal. The portion of the atmosphere closest to ground is called ionosphere. A. true, B. false, C. D. The correct answer is false. When there is rapid attenuation of field inside the conductor, the field current are concentrated close to the surface of the conductor. This phenomenon is called A. skin effect, B. EM concentration effect, C. Faraday's effect, D. Ohm's effect. The correct answer is skin effect. Which antenna is frequently used for local area transmission at UHF-VHF? A. ground monopole, B. turnstile antenna, C. slot antenna, D. loop antenna. The correct answer is ground monopole. The work done in moving a charge Q on an equipotential line for a distance d will be A. Vd, B. QVD, C. QD, D. 0. The correct answer is 0. For frequency up to 1650 kHz, the transmitting antenna is used A. Parabolic dish, B. vertical antenna, C. Yagi antenna, D. turnstile antenna. The correct answer is vertical antenna. Radar antennas are A. dipoles, B. helical, C. parabolic, D. conical. The correct answer is parabolic. Which of the following is high-frequency transmission line? An impedance transformer. B. Frequency compensator. C. Flying resistor. D. None of the above. The correct answer is an impedance transformer. Which of the following are the properties of a medium? A. Permeability flux magnesium. B. Permittivity permeability insulation. C. Permeability resistivity conductivity. D. Permittivity permeability conductivity. The correct answer is permittivity permeability conductivity. In microwave communication, sometimes microwave signals reach large distances by following the Earth curvature. This phenomenon is called A. Tropospheric scatter. B. Faraday effect. C. Ionospheric reflection. D. Ducting. The correct answer is ducting. An antenna is synonymous to A. Generator. B. Transformer. C. Regulator. D. Reflector. The correct answer is transformer. Alternating current can induce voltage because it has magnetic field which is A. Constant. B. Time varying. C. Stronger field than DC. D. Closed loop nature. The correct answer is time varying. Which of the following frequencies cannot be used for reliable beyond the horizon terrestrial communications without repeaters? A. 25 kHz. B. 15 MHz. C. 750 MHz. D. 12 GHz. The correct answer is 12 GHz. Maximum effective aperture AE max of short dipole antenna is A. 1.1192. B. 0.1192. C. 1.192. D. 1.9192. The correct answer is 0.1192. Beamwidth of an antenna depends upon A. Shape of radiation pattern. B. Dimensions. C. Wavelength. D. All of the above. The correct answer is all of the above. Tropospheric mode of propagation is used in A. UHF. B. VLF. C. MF. D. HF. The correct answer is UHF. The skip distance is A. Same for each layer. B. Independent of frequency. C. Independent of the state of ionization. D. Independent of transmitted power. The correct answer is independent of transmitted power. Polystyrene has a relative permittivity of 2.7. If the wave is incident at an angle I of 30 from air into polystyrene, the angle of transmission will be nearly A. 0.2. B. 2. C. 18. D. 48. The correct answer is 18. Short-circuited stubs are preferred to open-circuited stubs because the latter are A. More difficult to make and connect. B. Incapable of giving a full range of reactances. C. Made of transmission line with a different characteristic impedance. D. Liable to radiate. The correct answer is liable to radiate. In binomial arrays, the elimination of secondary lobes takes place A. At the cost of directivity. B. At the cost of gain. C. Both A and B. D. None of the above. The correct answer is both A and B. In a medium, if n are constant throughout the medium, then it is known as A. Perfect vacuum. B. Distributed medium. C. Homogeneous medium. D. Dielectric medium. The correct answer is homogeneous medium. The directivity of 20-turn helix having a 12 circumference equal to 1 wavelength will be A. 1.8 dB. B. 6 dB. C. 12 dB. D. 18 dB. The correct answer is 18 dB. The velocity factor of a transmission line A. mainly depends on the skin effect. B. is always higher for a solid dielectric than for air. C. Mainly depends on the dielectric constant of the material used. D. Increases the velocity along the transmission line. The correct answer is mainly depends on the dielectric constant of the material used. For trademark waves in a parallel plate waveguide, the minimum attenuation arising from imperfect conductors would occur at a freq of Fc is the cutoff frequency. A3 Fc, B3 Fc, C2 Fc, D2 Fc. The correct answer is 2 Fc. Acts as a depolarizer in a dry cell. A. Ammonium chloride, B. Carbon powder, C. Manganese dioxide, D. Zinc chloride. The correct answer is manganese dioxide. An antenna couple is used due to all of the following reasons except A. To prevent re-radiation of the local oscillator, B. To discriminate against harmonics, C. To make the antenna look resistive, D. To provide the output amplifier with the correct load impedance. The correct answer is to prevent re-radiation of the local oscillator. The advantage of Marconi antenna over the ungrounded antenna is that A. Only 1/4 of the height is required as compared to undergrounded antenna. B. 1/2 of the height is required as compared to undergrounded antenna. C. No capacitance required. D. None of the above. The correct answer is 1/2 of the height is required as compared to undergrounded antenna. What will be the propagation constant at 10 MHz? A. 3.4 radians kilometer, B. 34.4 radians kilometer, C. 344 radians kilometer, D. 3440 radians kilometer. The correct answer is 344 radians kilometer. The reflection coefficient is generally A. Complex number, B. Fraction, C. Imaginary number, D. None of the above. The correct answer is complex number. The absorption of radio waves by the atmosphere depends on A. The polarization of the waves, B. The polarization of the atmosphere, C. Frequency of the waves, D. Their distance from the transmitter. The correct answer is frequency of the waves. A broadside array is shown in figure in which the elements are placed at equal distances. The direction of maximum radiation is represented by A, B, B, C, C, D, D. The correct answer is A. There is no radiation at right angles to the plane of the array is end-fire array. A. True, B. False, C, D. The correct answer is true. Which of the following constitute the loss resistance of an antenna? A. Dielectric loss, B. Leakage loss in insulation, C. Loss in earth connections, D. All of the above. The correct answer is all of the above. The M.K.S unit of magnetic field intensity is A. Ampere, B. Ampere meter, C. Volt, D. Voltmeter. The correct answer is Ampere meter.